Peace, Chiefs and Deers. It's Bronzebird here with another video. Before I begin, like and subscribe. Thank you. So, I'm in the middle of doing a slow rollout of videos from week to week, still holding my panels, Brownstone Powwow. Anyone is available to join and have a conversation with me. All you need to do is basically click the link. But get into what I want to talk about, especially when we're analyzing these different things in society. And as I try to make the shift of giving you guys some new content that is going to make you think more and, really view the society for what it is, I still have to do certain content in which I'm trying to understand the mindset or the psychoanalysis of what I would deem as probably the incel culture, or men that become infatuated with women through video streaming sites, whether it be YouTube, Omegle, Patreon, OnlyFans, so on and so forth. I think what could be said for a lot of men in today's society is that they want to release. Obviously understand that a good amount of this generation is not having sex like they used to. A lot of men is more open to talking about this quote unquote thing called fapping, which we know exactly what fapping really is when we talk about it. But fapping to the silhouette of a curvy woman, a woman who has curves, a woman who has a nice body, a woman who could put herself on screen and men like it. And when I make this content, this is not about me trying to, make this all about women. It's really not, but I try to get into the mindset of men so they have an understanding about where they at and to be very cautious about the things they're doing out in this society, because it could lead you down a really big rabbit hole. And more or less, we have the understanding what's happening on two fronts. What's happening on one front is that women are becoming hypersexualized. On the men's side, it's mainly talking about violence. So without further ado, I'm going to show you this video where I'm going to give you my perspective, in which I think a lot of men are losing themselves to women, whether it just be that the woman may abuse them mentally or physically, or just the fact of the matter that they wanted the woman to live to their expectations. And when that woman didn't, they felt as if they have to do the extreme in order to get their attention. So it's this young 20-year-old that was arrested for doing some outlandish things for a burglary, coming into a woman's house that he had met on OnlyFans. And I'm going to give you my perspective on what I think about this. So, Pete.
Well, Tom, this man, Mauricio Damian Guerrero, currently faces 4 charges of burglary, but state prosecutors say more charges could be coming once Somersworth police finish their investigation. Now, according to court paperwork made public today, Guerrero, who lives in Pennsylvania, drove nearly 400 miles to Somersworth and allegedly broke into the home of a woman who he met on the website OnlyFans.
And I know y'all hear me a lot of times talk down on OnlyFans. I don't blame OnlyFans for what they're doing. I just think that men should keep themselves in check and not fall into the infatuation with OnlyFans, because we have to remember it's a website where these women is making money per se. Even men who's getting into the whole entire amateur pornography scene by being able to turn on a camera and just have sex like everybody else through OnlyFans and make the money that they do. I would say without saying, it's become too accessible for men to fantasize about women, their favorite content creators, and not actually go out in the world and establish connections with women. That's the reason I give my idea about it, and because it's falling into a lot of the deadly sins, especially about lust and greed, if you really think about it, because there are people who want to subject themselves in order to make a quick buck on the popular sites such as OnlyFans.
And those documents say that Guerrero broke into the home several times and even took video of the woman's private areas while she slept. Somersworth police found Guerrero hiding in the attic, they say, and found a tile tracking device that Guerrero admitted he wanted to tape to the victim's car to follow her.
And obviously, we know that this man has psychological issues because any man out there right mind is not going to be hiding in the attic of a woman that he's attracted to. And this gives on to the idea about the whole entire online dating scene and the online meetups. I'm not against that. We're living in a society where that's one of the things that's at the forefront of our society. Hell, I've even met up with people offline and was able to establish a great rapport and a great connection with those people. And then we had an agreement, we're getting to know each other, even if it was a woman herself. But we obviously can tell this guy right here obviously has some type of mental issues. He's not mentally wired, but this is something we need to think about as we go further into society, especially when we move into something as extravagant as the metaverse. So dudes may lose their itch. They might be able to sit up there and get IP addresses and find out who's the avatar behind the screens, and I already know there's that such thing such as doxing, but then they'll finally find their information and say, hey, I know you and I want to get to know you. I want to go ahead and see you. If you don't let me do it, you're gonna run some serious consequences. He might have been saying this. We don't know.
He was taken into custody after police found him on the woman's roof, climbing there from the attic, and charged him with burglary. He later posted bail and was released last week against the wishes of prosecutors.
He was released after that with pretty strict bail conditions. But it is an ongoing concern of ours, the safety of the victim during the pendency of this case. So that was why we asked for him to be held pending trial.
Now, Guerrero was released on $2,500 cash bail. He is required to wear a GPS tracking bracelet and has been ordered not to enter the state of New Hampshire and not to have contact with the victim. Again, further charges could be coming once police finish their investigation. Live in studio, Scott Cook, WMUR News.
And that's one of the things I wanted to bring to the forefront, because I'm not necessarily calling this young boy an incel per se, but I do understand that when it gets to the extreme of the whole entire incel culture, that young men such as him may take it upon themselves that needs to fix his sexual addiction in some type of way by going to a young woman's house, which is an extreme, and trying to see her butt naked in order to justify his lust chase. We got to be smarter out here as men. I mean, obviously, if you're not working on yourself, you shouldn't be dating or you shouldn't be dealing with anyone. But the fix goes harder than that, because men are becoming too accessible to this whole entire thing about the hypersexualization that's being pawned upon on women. And this man is obviously carrying some type of sexual deviant energy, soul, spirit, whatever have you, which proned him to go ahead and do what he did by driving 400 miles to see that woman. Gotta be safe out here, men. Don't lose yourselves in the wills of a woman. Peace.